Hiya, good evening, everybody. Oops, I forgot to turn my mic on. Good evening, everybody. How are we all doing? What I will tell you is before we get into this, I'm not going to be streaming for too long tonight because I've not been too well this week, and today's really catching up with me. So I'm not 100%. I'm sorry about that. That's that out of the way. I'm just sorting things out. I'm just running a bit late, so I just need to take a couple of painkillers. Right. Oh, hmm. oh, hey, hey, Tyson, how you doing? Tyson there on YouTube. You're my first viewer. You're actually ahead of me. You're actually ahead of YouTube. Sorry, you're on YouTube. You're actually ahead of Reddit. Normally it's Reddit that are first with the people commenting, but you're the first, Tyson. So how are you? Just bear with me. It's nice to see you. Hmm. Oh, I hate taking medication. It tastes disgusting. Um, I'm not going to be streaming for too long tonight. I'm going to stream for as long as I can, but I really won't be streaming for too long tonight because, as I say, I really haven't been very well this week. Uh, for those that don't know, I have an incurable cancer. I have follicular lymphoma, which is a blood cancer, and it's incurable. And I'm currently on treatment at the moment. And I have good weeks and I have bad weeks, and this week has been a really bad week, culminating with today. I went swimming today, which I really love. I absolutely love swimming, um, and I only managed to do 4 lengths before I had to stop because I really wasn't feeling too good at all. Um, and I had to come out of the water, which is a shame because I really love my swimming, especially in this weather. And Tyson, who's obviously in the UK, knows exactly what I'm talking about with this weather. He's just said, Tyson there on YouTube has just said, lovely weather we've been having. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's where I am right now. It's 24 outside. It hit 32, 32 degrees centigrade, by the way, because we're in the UK and that's how we measure it, which there's a rough and ready formula to convert to the old Fahrenheit, which is double it and add 30. So 32, double it is 64, add 30 is 94. It puts you in the ballpark of the temperature. So at the moment it's 24, which if you double it is 48, add 30 makes it 78. So it's 24 out there. In my studio here, it's actually 39 degrees, and I've got 3 fans on me. I'm just putting the fourth fan on there. Um, and this isn't a complaint. This isn't a complaint. I absolutely love this weather. It can never be too hot for me. I'll complain when it's cold, but it will never ever be too hot for me. I'll tell you the funny thing about streaming, right? I'll tell you the funny thing about streaming. Up until I came on air, I really felt completely shit. Um, that's the understatement. I actually felt completely shit, but I'm now actually feeling quite good. Because I've just come on and I've just started talking, but I am feeling a bit shit. So I'm not going to be streaming for too long tonight. I was actually in on Tuesday. I actually had to go to hospital. I had to go to the what the Americans would call the emergency room, what we would call here casualty or A&E, accident emergency. Um, I had to go there because I I got very I'm very dehydrated. One of the symptoms of my cancer is I'm very dehydrated, and when you get severe dehydration, it causes all sorts of problems like severe muscle cramps. And I've had severe cramps in my legs for a couple of weeks, but this week it's been really bad, and I've been unable to walk or do anything without getting a muscle cramp. So I spoke to my haematologist because my cancer is a blood cancer. Follicular lymphoma is a blood cancer. I'm dealt with by a haematologist who specialises in blood disorders, not an oncologist. So I spoke to my haematology team on Tuesday morning, and the clinical nurse specialist called me back and said, "Look, the best thing you can do is go to casualty and get yourself checked out," which I did. So, and they couldn't find anything. What they said is they can't find anything systemically wrong with me. other than the lymphoma. So it could well be it's either a side effect of the cancer that I've got or a side effect of the treatment that I've got. So I've got an appointment on the 25th, so hopefully I can hold out till then. But these leg cramps are absolutely killing me. That's what I've just taken a couple of ibuprofen. I really don't like ibuprofen because of what it does to your stomach. So I just took some. Tyson says the air up there is scorching in Lincolnshire. I imagine it would be. It's been gorgeous all over England. Unfortunately, Scotland has only had about half the temperature we've had, Tyson. So Scotland has been about 16. So one of my friends has said, but it's been an absolutely gorgeous weather, and it's I like it when it's like this. I'll never complain about being too hot. Never complain about it. I might 4 o'clock tomorrow morning when I'm sweating my bollocks off in bed. I might complain about it, but what I've actually got is what I've done now is I've installed a wall fan at the foot of my bed. The foot of my bed touches the wall, and I've installed a wall fan on that wall directly over my bed, so that when I turn it on, it's blowing directly on me. To keep me cool. Although my other half bitches like crazy about that because I don't like the fan blowing on my face, so I just stick the pillow over her face and turn the fan up higher. That's my. I don't press it down. I just roll her over and just turn the fan up higher. It's a lot easier to deal with it that way. Right, where are we? Where are we? Where are we? Where are we? Yes. Beer de jour. As you know, I do something called beer de jour. Well, today I have got. I don't know whether it's called Tyski or Tiski. You decide. Tyski or Tiski. It's a Polish lager, and as you know, I've got to bug up my arse about some beers not being brewed where they say they are. This one I happen to know for a fact. It actually says that proudly made in Poland, so it is truly a Polish beer. It's not a beer pretending to be Polish and brewed by one of the big conglomerates up there in Burton-on-Trent. It is actually a proper Polish beer, and that makes a difference. The water in the beer makes the difference, and I think when you've got a beer like that, the Polish beer, it really does make a difference. So let's just open that. Oh, let's get that down. I don't know whether I should be drinking beer feeling like I am, but what the fuck? I mean, I haven't had a shave today. Look at me. I'm like some sort of tramp. I haven't had a shave today. That's how bad it was, because what I normally do when I go swimming, I take my razor. Look, my razor. My green screen keeps pulling out. I take my razor with me when I go swimming. And when I come out of the swimming pool, I go into the shower. And what I do is I shave in the shower. Because it's great having the swimming pool showers are much stronger. I've got 2 showers here at home. They're nice and they're great and they're wonderful, but the swimming pool showers are really high pressure and they're really hot. I don't get that sort of pressure with my shower at home, so I quite enjoy these swimming pool showers, and I shave when I'm in the shower. But like I said, I felt so rough when I was in the pool today. I did 150. Like I said, I did four lengths. 100. My watch says I've done. Hang on, I'll tell you what my watch says I've done, because I keep a record of all my activity. Workout record. My watch said I did 150 meters today. So yeah, I did 150 meters, which is 270 strokes. Six laps. Yeah, that sounds about right. 6 laps. What I do is I swim. I do breaststroke up to the deep end, and then I do back crawl down to the shallow end. Then I'll do front crawl up to the deep end, and I'll do breaststroke back to the shallow end. I try and vary my strokes to give as much of my body an exercise as I can. But I did 150 meters in 27 minutes, which I just, when I was 16, I could swim 5 miles before school. Really could, 5 miles. I'm not kidding. 5 miles. I could do 500 lengths in a day quite easily. 500, 100 lengths in a day quite easily. And that's not 5 miles, that's 5 kilometres. No, it's not, it's 10 kilometres. 10 kilometres. Because the pool was 100 metres. So, no, it wasn't. The pool was 50 metres. No, it was 5 kilometres, yeah. 5 kilometres, the pool was 50. I had to think about that. The pool was 50 meters, and I do 100 lengths. before school most mornings, and I was a very, very good swimmer, which is why I've always enjoyed going swimming. But now I've got to be an old fart. It's all changed. Right, let's just go through the figures. I've got one person watching me on Facebook. Yay! Hello, one person on Facebook, whoever you are. I've got no one watching me on Twitter. That's because I haven't actually. I'm not actually streaming on Twitter. I've got the usual one person watching me on Twitch, which I think is a bot, and I've got one person watching me on YouTube, which I think is my friend Tyson up there in Lincolnshire. So hello, Tyson. If it's not Tyson, hello else. And we have 5 watchers on Reddit. So Reddit has gone down the pan completely since they made all the changes. We've got 5 watchers on Reddit. So, guys, anybody on Reddit want to say hi? You know, I say hi. Let's chat. Let's chat. Tyson over there on YouTube. Have we discussed it before? I know you said you're in Lincolnshire. We discussed it before. Are you anywhere near RAF Scampton? And I think RAF Scampton is in Lincolnshire. Let's have a look. It might not be in Lincolnshire. I might be putting you on a different county completely. RAF Scampton. Yes, it's in Lincoln. It's in Lincoln. So are you anywhere near RAF Scampton? Have we discussed this before? Oh no, he's gone. I've lost all my viewers on YouTube. He's gone. So I'm talking to myself. So I've got one person watching me on Twitch and 6 watching me on Reddit. So not only am I going to be leaving early because I'm not feeling too well, but I'm going to be not streaming for very long because nobody's fucking interested. So let me have a beer. Oh, you are there, Tyson. Sorry. YouTube is reporting that nobody's watching me. So obviously the figures on YouTube may not be accurate. I love it when that happens. The only reason RAF Scampton is quite famous because that's where the Dam Busters left from. I don't know if you know the story of the Dam Busters. When during the Second World War, we destroyed the Ruhr, the Mosel, and the Werner dams in Germany with bouncing bombs invented by a guy called Barnes-Wallis. And the whole idea was to flood the industrial heartland of Germany, which would bring Germany's industry to a halt, in the hope that it would slow down their war effort. And it did. What the raid, the film makes the raid out to be a great success. It wasn't as successful as the film would have you believe, because out of the 4 dams that were attacked, which I believe were the Rhone, the Mosel, the Ruhr, and the Werner, I think. I'm going from memory there. Somebody will Google and tell me how wrong I am, and I'm talking bollocks. But out of the 4 dams, only one was actually breached fully. One was partly breached, but only one was breached fully, and the other 2 weren't. It did cause some flooding, but not enough to do the damage they thought there was. But the raid was considered basically a success, if nothing else, for Barnes-Wallis's bouncing bomb. But that's why RAF Scampton is famous. That's why I know about RAF Scampton, because the Dam Busters come from there. And I remember, or is it 633 Squadron? No, I'm sure it's the Dam Busters. I just remember driving through Lincoln one year, and we actually passed RAF Scampton because it's on one of the main roads through Lincoln. And I just remember seeing something about the squadron at the main gates. I'm going to have to Google that now. To make sure that I'm not talking complete bollocks. So it could well be that I'm talking complete bollocks. RAF Scampton Dam Busters. Make sure I'm not talking complete bollocks. Yes, it's on the A15. I knew it was. I knew it was on a main road because we went up to Lincoln Cathedral, which is, I've spoke to you about this before, Tyson. Lincoln Cathedral is a great place to visit because of the way. No, not Lincoln Cathedral, Lincoln Prison. Lincoln Prison. Wow, what an eye opener that is, Tyson. What an absolute eye opener that is, especially the way they treated prisoners in the 18th century. And I was right. It is RAF Scampton, so that's where the Dam Busters flew from. So that was. So I knew that was right. I'm now going to check to make sure that I'm not talking shit about the dams. I might be talking complete rubbish about the dams. Let's have a look. What dams did the Busters Destroy, that should call it up. Oh, let's make sure I'm not talking complete shit. Let's talk in Wikipedia's a load of old bollocks at the best of times. Let's have a look. Concept. Oh, come on, Simon. Oh, you've got to read through the Mearn. Oh, okay. I nearly got it right. It was four dams. It was four dams. It was the Mearn, the Ida, the Sorpy, and the Yenepi dams. So I was right about four dams. So let's have a look. Let's have a look. The Mearn was completely bleached, and the Ida was partially bleached. So I was right about that. I was right about that. So the Sorpa and the Yenepi dams got away with it. So I was nearly right. That's not bad for going from memory. That's not bad at all. So I was nearly right. I only had the name of one of the dams correct. That was going from memory, but at least I know that. I just looked at myself in high res. God, I'm a scruffy fucker. With my not shaved, but like I say, I'm not feeling 100%. Yes, Tyson, Lincoln is a beautiful city. We visited Lincoln Cathedral and we visited Lincoln Prison. And like I said, Lincoln Prison is an eye opener of the way that I used to treat people in the 18th and 19th century, especially with this isolation. I can't describe it to you guys. You need to look on the Lincoln Prison website and go and visit yourself. But apparently, the penal system in Lincoln Prison in the 18th or 19th century was to isolate prisoners completely and to have absolutely no contact with other prisoners, which even involved going to church. And when you went to church, you had to sit in, each prisoner had to sit in a cubicle that was boarded either side, and they couldn't see the person behind, they couldn't see the person next to them either side, they couldn't see the person below them, and they couldn't see the person above them. They were completely isolated from their neighbours. And that's what the penal system in Lincoln was like. Very cruel, very cruel. But it's well worth a visit. Lincoln Cathedral is also quite nice if you're into that. And Lincoln itself is a very historic city, very beautiful city up there. I believe at one time again, I'm going from memory, so I could be talking complete bollocks. I'm sure Tyson will correct me. Was Lincoln at one point in history? Did the Scots come down and invade after on one of the Scots English invasions? Did they actually take over Lincoln as a city? I'm sure they did. I'm sure for a while the Scots owned Lincoln until I think it was King Henry the First. I think was it Richard? One of them had to go up there and kick the Scots' asses out. I'm sure they did. I'm sure Tyson will tell me if that's true or not. I'm not doing any more googling. I'm googled out. Right, we're down to 5 watchers on Reddit, and they've not said anything. Nobody on Reddit has said anything tonight, which is unusual. Normally, you get somebody on Reddit saying something, but nobody said anything. So, I guess they don't want me streaming. They're not interested. So, get no feedback. I don't stream. It really is that simple. Tyson on YouTube says that Lincoln Prison is adjacent to Lincoln Court. The court is still being used to this day. Yeah. There's a lot of history there, you know. There's a lot of history there, Tyson. It's like I said, I do remember my visit to Lincoln. I couldn't tell you what year it was. Probably about 2011, 2012 when I was up there. Because what I did is I did a long weekend away, and I did the Railway Museum at York. Because I'm a bit of a a bit of an engineering geek, engineering anorak, and I did the Railway Museum. And I think on the way up, on the way back, that's right. On the way back, we did Lincoln and the Humber Bridge, if I recall correctly. Like I said, I'm a bit of an engineering geek, and if you know that for a while, the Humber Bridge was the world's longest suspension bridge. Obviously that one, the Takashi Narrows one in Japan, is now much longer, but for a while there, we held a world record. Come on, Reddit. Look, normally Reddit, it's you guys that you don't shut up. You will not stop talking on Reddit, but you're not saying anything. You're not saying anything. And you're making me think, well, is it worth me streaming? If I don't get any interaction from you guys, then I'm not going to stream with you guys. So, don't leave it to YouTube to do all the work here. Say something, even if it's only fuck off. That would be nice. But actually watching and saying nothing, I think, is quite why do you watch? I'm sorry that maybe I'm not that interesting. Who knows? But say something. Even if it's hello, I've said hello to you guys on Reddit. I've got 6 people on Reddit watching me right now. Hello, Reddit. Would one of you just say hi? That's it. That's it. All you have to do is type in, look, HI. That's it. Hi. That's all you have to do. It's not difficult. I promise you, the sky won't fall in. All right. Your legs won't fall off, and you'll probably actually, if you say hi to me, it will probably give you the superpower of getting laid. Not with me, of course, but with whatever your particular sexual preference is in the next half an hour. It will. It will. Go on, try it. Say hi. Go on, try it, and I guarantee it will happen. It will. It will happen. If not, you can sue me. Um, Tyson says the city of Lincoln for the past years has been under a massive restoration project. Like I said, I know that I've been, and I remember the prison, and I remember the cathedral. And I remember walking around Lincoln. That's what I said before. I was in a wheelchair. I remember walking around Lincoln, and I discovered a craft ale shop in the city centre. I discovered a little craft ale shop, and I bought some. I bought some lovely craft ales from there, and I bought it back. Brought it back with me, and I thought they were really nice beers. But I don't remember much more than that. So sorry, my memory's a bit vague. Maybe I need to go to Lincoln again. Yeah, maybe I should. Maybe I should go to Lincoln again. Um, I just remember going there, and I'm thinking it's a lovely. So it's a nice place where you live there, Tyson. So if you're not too far from Lincoln and not too far from Scampton, I would imagine in the weather like today, like we've had today, in the glorious sunshine we've had today, it would have been quite nice. It really would have been quite nice. Oh, this beer is actually quite nice. I'm really not sure if I should be drinking this. Yeah. So as usual, I've got nobody watching me on Facebook. I've got literally hundreds and hundreds of friends on Facebook, but not one of the fuckers ever watches me. So, obviously they've got more important things to do. I don't care though. I don't care. Um, oh, 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 yeah. I went out last night. Um, out. Yeah, amazingly, I'm getting very brave. I went out to a musical evening. I went out to watch a Status Quo tribute band, and it was actually quite a good evening. We really, really enjoyed it. Um, and the band were quite good. I was actually surprised because my missus, she's the same age as me. No, she's actually a year younger than me. But we share a lot of things in common with music because of the era we grew up in. We like a lot of the music, and we said we'd go out because we hadn't been out for a couple of years, and we said we'd go out. And there's a musical venue. There's a venue very near to us that does a lot of tribute bands. They do a tribute band each week, and the two bands that were coming up were Slade or Status Quo. Um, and I said to her, "What do you fancy, Slade or Status Quo?" Now, me personally, I mean, given the choice of the two, definitely Slade because they were there in my teenage years. But I also grew up with Quo, and she looked at me and said, "Oh, Quo," and I looked at her and said, "Oh, I didn't think you were a Quo fan." And she said, "Well, actually," she said, "when it comes to the 1970s, I've always leaned towards rock rather than pop." And I've been with her like nearly 20 years. I've known her, and I didn't know that about her. I didn't know she liked more rock than pop. But then I should have done because of I mean she's got she likes Brian Adams, so it's yeah. But 100% the quote was good. It was actually really good, Tyson. And what was good about it is they were a tribute band to Quo's early years, not the later stuff. So we didn't get things like In the Army or Rocking All Over the World, the pop hits. We actually got the really early stuff, which Quo was based on. Quo's actually is actually a bit of a local connection with me and Quo. Just up the road from me, 4 miles away, it's now a block of flats, but it used to be called the Rising Sun, which is a pub. And outside this block of flats, there's a blue plaque on the wall. Right, if you know where to look, I'll get a photograph of it next time I'm going past. It's actually on the South Circular Road, and it used to be called the Rising Sun. This block of flats. And there's a plaque on the wall there that said Status Quo played their first concert here. So there you go. There's a local connection. Yeah, it was great. It was, and everybody that was at this do last night was roughly about my age. In their late 50s, early 60s. So like me, they'd all grown up on Quo. And the number of people playing air guitars, the number of people of 60 and over playing air guitars was quite comical. But it was a good night, and the group were actually quite good. I was quite impressed. I really enjoyed it, and it was good to get out and have a bit of a musical night. I mean, I was rocking away in my wheelchair. I wasn't playing the air guitar. I haven't got the energy for that. It's too much like hard work. But my missus, she was dancing about, and she was she had a great time. I think that's down to the fact that she drank the best part of a gallon of wine, I think. But we really enjoyed it. It was a really good night out. Um, and yeah, I spent all when hey Harry Fields, how you doing there on YouTube? Nice to. It's actually quite nice. I think this is the first week in over a year, and I stream every week. This is the first week in over a year where YouTube has actually been more interactive than Reddit. I've had nothing, zero from Reddit, nothing at all, nothing whatsoever coming back from Reddit. Loads coming back from YouTube, and as I say, this is the first time I can ever recall, ever YouTube beating Reddit for interaction. I mean, wow, that's quite a thing. If you, by the way, for those that don't know, this is my YouTube channel. If you type that into a browser, that'll take you to my YouTube channel. The other things that have been happening is yeah, baby, yeah. If he wants to say hey baby, that's fine. It's 2022. If yeah, I know. Well, I'm like a baby, you know. I'm bald headed. I dribble a lot, and if I have too much to drink, I piss myself. So yeah, I'm pretty much like a baby. Yeah. Um, the other major thing that's been happening to me this week is I'm in a wheelchair, and it's actually just charged up. I'll just unplug that, and I have one of these fitted to my wheelchair. In fact, this is my camera from my wheelchair. I've taken it off to charge it up. It's a I don't know if you recognise it. It's a Drift Ghost XL, which is an action camera stroke dash cam, and I actually have that connected to my wheelchair, and I film everything that I do in the wheelchair. The reason I've got a Ghost Drift XL is you're gonna love this, right? Okay, it's got a 9-hour battery life. I'm not kidding. It will record with a 128 gigabyte memory card inside. This little camera will record in 1080p HD 1080p for 9 hours. So I can actually go out with this camera, and I'm out all day tomorrow. Actually, an event called Chislehurst Rocks. I can actually go out with this camera, and I can record for a whole day without having to charge it up. There's no other action cam stroke dash cam on the market that has a battery life like this. Most of them about an hour. This is 9 hours, and it really is 9 hours. So I've been out. I have the wheelchair attached to my. I have the camera attached to my wheelchair. And if you go to my YouTube, there, you can see some of the films that I've taken, because I'm getting very politically correct over the way that disabled people are treated, or well, treated and disrespected by people. So I've actually decided that I'm, rather than just sitting there and suffering it, because I've got the camera, I'm actually going to start putting videos up about the troubles we have on a daily basis. I put a few of the videos up already on YouTube if you want to go and look at them. Um, Harry Fields, Guinness drinker. Have we, Harry Fields has just said sorry. He's had too many cans of Guinness for calling me baby. But have we spoken before, Harry? Did we have this conversation about Guinness on Monday? If I recall, I had a conversation with somebody on Monday about Guinness, but I can't recall their name, to be honest, off the top of my head. I'm sorry. Oh, I need uh, I need to go to the toilet. Just bear with me for a second. See, that's what happens when I drink. I need to go to the toilet. Just bear with me. Oh, I'm back, by the way. I've also just noticed that my legs are feeling a lot better. So I'm not sure whether that's the ibuprofen that I've taken or the alcohol. Pardon me, combination of both. Well, Harry says that we've not spoken before. Well, hello, Harry. Welcome to my stream. It's nice to have you there. Whereabouts you from, Harry? I'm I'm actually streaming on Reddit, Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube. And at the moment, it's only YouTube that I'm getting any interaction from. There's a regular viewer of mine called Tyson who I'm chatting to as well. So say hi to Tyson up there in Lincolnshire. Where are you from, Harry? If you don't mind me asking. I'm down in London. I'm in the southeast corner of London, where it's been absolutely gorgeous today. Middlesbrough. I can't say that I know that much about Middlesbrough. I know roughly where it is, up north there, but I can't recall if I've ever been there. I don't think so. I know you've got a football club, but other than that, Harry, I don't know that much about Middlesbrough. I do know that I don't like Guinness. You know, if you watch my stream, you'll discover that I really don't like Guinness. There's Guinness, I think, is like Marmite, isn't it? You either like it or you hate it. But I don't like Guinness. I don't like McCaffrey's. I don't like Murphy's. I don't like any of the dark stouts. I prefer IPAs or ales, golden ales. Actually, my favourite is one called Wainwright's Golden Champion or Woodford's Wherry, which is an amber ale. I prefer proper craft ales or lagers, which is why I'm drinking. And I'm not sure whether it's Tyskie or Tyskie, but it's not a bad little lager. What is it? What's the ABV on it? 5%. So that's not bad. It's all in Polish. So I couldn't tell you whereabouts it's brewed, but in Poland. What do I know about Middlesbrough? I think I only know about the football club out there. That's all I know about Middlesbrough. I'm sorry, I don't know any more about Middlesbrough. I can't ever recall visiting it. What else is Middlesbrough famous for, Harry? I'm sorely disappointed in you, Reddit. I really am, Reddit. You guys on Reddit. It is disappointing that I've had no interaction from you at all. So none at all. That is quite surprising. Maybe my audio isn't working. Maybe chat isn't working. No, it's working because I've just typed hello and it's come up. Um, oh, other than that, yeah, it's just come up. So I don't think there's anybody. I think basically people on Reddit are not willing to talk. But as I said, all you got to do, look, Reddit. I've got 6 of you watching me on Reddit right now. If you just type hi, I promise you, you will become incredibly wealthy, and you can get laid with any sexual partner you choose. And all it requires is typing hi. The fact that you're not incredibly wealthy and you're not getting laid says that you haven't actually typed hi yet. So you see, unless you try it, you'll never know. But no, they won't do it. Oh, they won't do it. No. Oh, I'm down to 4 watchers. So in fact, 2 watchers thought, no, I'm not going to take high. I don't want to be rich. I don't want to be successful. I don't want to be good looking. You could be good looking like me. You could have looks like this. Um, I don't want to do it, so they've left. They're obviously going off to watch somebody knitting clouds or crocheting a waterfall or whatever else it does. Like cats. Cats are my biggest competition on Reddit, right? When there's cats on Reddit, okay, I can't compete. When there's cats on the front page of Reddit, I cannot compete with the front page of Reddit. People would sooner watch cats than me. So what we'll do is we'll make it easy. There we go. Look, Reddit. There you go. Look, there's some cats for you to look at. So you can look at that. Does that help you? All right. Maybe that will make you talk. We've got a cat. Right. There's a cat. Look, that way. That way. I forgot I'm reversed as a cat. So yeah, Harry, tell me about Middlesbrough. What? Me and Tyson there have been talking about. We've been talking about Lincoln, his hometown. Tell me something about Middlesbrough that I probably don't know. Let's see what we can learn about Middlesbrough tonight. So come on, tell me, Harry. What can we learn about Middlesbrough? Oh, God knows what it is with Reddit because even a cat isn't getting them talking. Uh, it's so strange. I because of my I've got a crib sheet here of all the things that I wanted to talk about. Some not bad areas. Not bad areas. Harryfield says some not bad areas. Yeah, but is there anything outstanding about Middlesbrough? I mean, for instance, myself and Tyson here, we've been talking about Lincoln Prison, Lincoln Cathedral, and Lincoln Courts, and the city centre because it is a very famous city. And it's also where the dam busters came from. So there's a lot of connections there. I mean, what is Middlesbrough actually famous for? Is it famous for anything? I really don't know that much about Middlesbrough, and I've been racking my brains to think if I've been there, and I don't think I have. Um, so I'm not sure what it's famous for. It's just somewhere I've never been. Um, I know you're on the River T, aren't you? Is it the River T or the River Stour? I'm sure it's the River T. I'm sure you're T side, aren't you? Or is that the other side? I'm sure it is. I know you're up there. I know when I went up to the I know why I know Middlesbrough. You're one of the things I went up to York for a week. It was a long weekend, and we did the York Railway Museum, and we did Lincoln on the Humber Bridge. I also did the North Yorkshire Moors Railway, and I think Middlesbrough's pretty close to that, isn't it? You're up there by the steam. Is it called the North Yorkshire Railway? It's the Tees. It is the River Tee. Yeah. You're up there by the by the North Yorkshire thingies. Uh, I can't. I can't think of anywhere else. I know that. What else do I know about Middlesbrough? For a little while there, Middlesbrough was Middlesbrough a big shipbuilding? Was it in the 18th and 19th century? Was it a big shipbuilding community? I'm sure it was. I'm sure that's ringing a bell with me. That Middlesbrough was was a something to do with ships. Was it Brunel's? Wait a minute. Was it Brunel's SS Great Britain? Is that where the iron came from Middlesbrough? Is that what that is? I'm sorry, I'm going from memory. I could Google, but I'm going from memory. Um, or was it the links in the Hammersmith Bridge in London that were made from? That's right. Yeah, Middlesbrough. I'm sure Middlesbrough's got something to do with the steel industry. I'm sure it has, or the iron industry. That's really yes, yes. There we go. Thank you. I knew if I thought about it long enough, it would come to me. And I'm pretty sure the SS Great Britain. It rings a bell that the SS Great Britain was the first ironclad liner, I think, to cross the Atlantic, built by Brunel. So I'm sure that was something to do with Teesside. So I knew it was. I knew it was around that way because you've got um, if geographically you're near Stockton and Redcar's famous because of its racetrack, isn't it? It's horse racing. You're nearby Stockton as well, and you've got Whitby. That's somewhere else. It's near there. Whitby, Scarborough's near there as well, isn't it? So it's not. I know the area, but I can't actually recall ever being to Middlesbrough. Sorry, I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't want to disrespect Middlesbrough, but I've just you know, I just don't know that much about it. Um, to talk with anything. Yes, Tyson. Whitby was in the news this week, wasn't it? Whitby was in the news. Tyson has just said Whitby's a lovely area. Yes, it is. It was in the news this week, wasn't it? Because wasn't there a referendum where everybody in Whitby has voted that um, new builds can't be sold to as second holiday homes. They've got to be sold to people in the area, something like that. I vaguely remember the news, but I remember Whitby was it's a pretty little village, but it's one of the only places where you can get real decent fish and chips because the fish has been landed. It's a fishing port, and the fish has been landed in Whitby, and it's not frozen. I mean, you go to other places like Hastings, just down south here. It is a fishing port, but the fish you buy in the fish and chip shop is not fresh. They don't actually claim it's fresh. People just assume it's fresh. They don't claim it's fresh. It's actually frozen, and then rethawed, like the cod is anyway. Because I know what fresh cod tastes like. It doesn't taste anything like fresh cod. But Whitby is one of the few places where you can actually get fish that's really been just caught, and it makes a difference. It's a yeah, actually, I've got 114 people watching me on Reddit at the moment, Tyson. No, I've got 500 people watching me on Reddit at the moment. So, Reddit, look, there's 500 of you watching me. Would one of you say hi or hello or fuck off, even? Just anything, just to let me know that there is life out there in Reddit land. Because YouTube, it's unusual. Normally, Reddit, you guys on Reddit are talking my legs off, talking the hind legs off, leaving YouTube and Twitch and all the others out of it. But it's Twitch that's running the conversation tonight. It's Twitch. Hi from Berlin. Oh look, we've got somebody on Reddit. We've got somebody on Reddit. Hello, Neutral Frog there in Berlin. So that's nice, Neutral Frog. I'm talking to two guys on YouTube at the moment because I'm streaming on YouTube as well as Reddit at the same time, and we're just talking about their hometowns. So Berlin, we'll talk to you for a minute, Berlin. So there's your answer, Tyson. There's 500 people watching me on Reddit at the moment. Um, Berlin, I've never been to. But I know a bit. Berlin, it's got the famous television tower, hasn't it? It's got Alexanderplatz and the Brandenburg Gate and the Reeperbahn. These are all places that I'd like to visit. Neutral Flog. So it's Berlin is one of these places that's on my bucket list. It's 10:34 here. Neutral Frog on Reddit. It's just asked. It's 11:34 here. Where are you? I'm in London. I'm in London, and it's 10:34. So we're an hour behind you. Neutral Frog is an American and hasn't been in Berlin very long. I've never been, so you've got that advantage on me. You've definitely got that advantage on me. I haven't. I've never been to Berlin. It's one of these. It's one of these places. I've been to Germany. I've been to places like Aachen, and Koblenz. Koblenz is lovely. Koblenz is where the confluence of the confluence of the Rhine and the Mosel meet. Absolutely beautiful area. Beautiful wine growing area. Beautiful wines. Harry Fields up there in Middlesbrough says he's been to Berlin. It says still showing the scars of its past. It's funny. It's funny you should say that, Harry, because I was thinking, I was thinking exactly that about London the other day. I watched a film. Now I'm sure you've all seen this film, right? Reddit's down to 173 people now, so I'm obviously pissed off people on Reddit. I actually saw a film the other day on one of my streaming channels that I've not seen for a few years, and it's still a good film. Full Metal Jacket. Who remembers Full Metal Jacket? Come on, you must have seen it. It's one of the classic. It's one of the classic films, Full Metal Jacket, right? Well, I'll let you into a little tip about Full Metal Jacket. Okay, that was filmed in London's Docklands. It wasn't filmed in Vietnam. It was filmed in London's. I'm not kidding. Google it. You'll see that I'm true. It was filmed in London's Docklands, and London's Docklands looked at that time it was filmed like an absolute bomb site. And of course, being a Cockney East Ender, I lived just almost on top of London's Docklands, so that was my great adventure playground when I was a child. And something made me think about that the other day, and I was talking to people about that, and I just recalled when they made Full Metal Jacket. It was a big thing in the East End of London when they made Full Metal Jacket there, because we all went to see them filming each day. It was absolutely fantastic, fantastic experience. You learnt how many takes they had to do, and you learnt all the cinema tricks, how you could make London's Docklands look like downtown Vietnam, downtown Saigon. Sorry, but yeah, it was actually filmed in London's Docklands. So, and it's a film. Harry, if you've never seen Full Metal Jacket, you have to watch it. It's a war film. It's a Vietnam War film, but it's an anti-Vietnam War film, and Private Pike blows his head off is something you'll never forget. It's great. It follows this platoon right through from induction training into be thrown into war in Vietnam. Neutral Frog. The reason I've got the dancing cat there is because normally on Reddit, on the front page of Reddit, it's normally cats. All right, there's people that I was watching it the other day, right, and there was 500,000 people watching this cat shit in a box. All right, and I can't think of anything I'd rather be doing. I think I'd rather cut my head off with a plastic fork than watch a cat shit in a box on a stream. But people were watching a cat shit in a box on a stream, so I thought, well, if they like cats that much, I'll put a dancing cat on my stream so they can watch me as well. Vincent D'Onofrio was in Full Metal Jacket. Do you know what? I honestly couldn't remember Neutral Frog. I honestly couldn't remember. I couldn't tell you who the stars were. I was a lot younger when that was being filmed. I think that was probably filmed 30 years ago, maybe 30 years ago, maybe even 40 years ago. When did I move out of the East End? I moved out of the East End in 1978. But I think it might have been filmed in the late 70s, early 80s. Full Metal Jacket. I could Google it, but I'm not going to. And it is a war film, but it's an anti-war film. It is an anti-war film. It is an anti-war film. It's a very good film. It's well worth watching. It's like Top Gun. It's a film you've got to watch. I've just watched Top Gun 2, Maverick, That was an excellent film. What an excellent sequel. Some 35 years, 36 years after the first event. Um, Harry Fields has asked me what my opinion on cheese and onion crisps are. I don't like them. If you've got to be honest, Harry, on YouTube he's asking. I don't actually like cheese and onion crisps. I prefer ready salted. I like ready salted. Yeah, I'm not going to Google. I could Google. I'm not ready. I prefer ready salted Harry Fields. I really don't like cheese and onion. I really don't like taste like cheese and onion Harry Fields. So I prefer ready salted. Or if I've had a bit of beer, maybe salt and vinegar. Or my mate when he comes round. I've got a friend that comes round most Tuesday nights, and we have a bit of a boys' night. He always brings round some salt and pepper, sea salt and cracked black pepper crisps. Although we call them lesbians, and I'll come back to that in a second. Neutral Frog says I could Google, but I'm not. I could Google. I'm on my desktop. I'm not on a mobile phone. I'm on my desktop, and I've got a browser open. I could Google, but I'm not. I'm not. I'd rather be natural. I'd rather be me rather than running off a script or artificially coming facts. And I'd rather show you all my faults. If my memory's faulty, my memory's faulty. Shit happens. That's what I do in real life. In real life, you can't just suddenly Google something. Um, Neutral Frog, chips are fries in America. Correct, yeah. We call them chips here, you call them fries. However, we're talking about crisps, which I don't know what you call. I have no idea what you call. I think you call fry. I think you call. Yeah, you do. We call them crisps. You call them chips. Potato chips. We call them crisps, and that's what he's talking about. Um, there. So we're not talking about chips, which you would call fries. We're talking about crisps, which you would call chips. So if that helps there, Neutral Frog. Um, Tyson, my friend Tyson up there in Lincoln, has just said he prefers pork scratching or crackling to crisps. Yes, if you've ever watched, I do a stream on a Sunday evening. I go out once a week to the pub on a Sunday evening and I stream from the pub, and I do a pub stream. And as well as having a pint of beer, well, actually, I have 4 or 5 pints of beer. God, did I get wankered last week? As well as having several pints of beer, I always have a great big plate of pork scratchings, and I do love pork scratchings. And these are proper butcher pork scratchings. In America, for my American friend there, Neutral Frog, they would be called pork rinds. You'd know them as pork rinds. We call them as pork scratchings. Um, Neutral Frog prefers plain crisps. Well, to each their own. I mean, it depends what you mean by plain crisps. A lot of people say ready salted are plain crisps, which is just salted crisps, which are the ones that I love the most. So that's just to clarify that. Um, I love pork scratchings. Neutral Frog loves pork scratchings, but I think I'm going to have a heart attack when I eat them. Yeah, yeah, they're probably not. They're probably not good for you. Let's turn the cat off. All right, the cat's getting a bit silly now. Let's get a bit silly now. Let's turn the cat off. Because obviously I'm down to 16 people. I had 634 people on Reddit, and I'm now down to 16. So it's just amazing that YouTube is still leading the conversation. I've been streaming over a year now. That's the first time I can ever recall that. But yeah, I sort of know what you mean there, Neutral Frog, about pork scratchings having a heart attack. They're probably the most unhealthy food in the world. Let's see what Harry on YouTube says. He agrees with that, Tyson. Pork scratchings are beautiful. Prefer them when they're soft and got a bit of fat on them and not as hard as bricks. Um, I like them crunchy on the outside but soft on the inside. You don't know this, Harry, because you're not a regular. But I have cancer, and because of the cancer, partly the treatment, partly the cancer, has caused me to lose the majority of my teeth. And I've actually just been fitted with dentures. And up until Thursday, when I had my first ever set of dentures, I only got 10 teeth left. Um, I had to suck. I had to suck pork scratchings, but I've now been able to eat them. And I like them when they're hard on the outside and soft in the middle. So you have a crunch to bite them off, and then you just suck them to death. It's gorgeous. Right, Neutral Frog says in California we call pork scratchings Chicharrones. That's probably a Mexican word, I think, isn't it? So I didn't know that. Okay, I didn't know that. I should remember that because quite often, when I'm sitting there with my bowl of pork scratchings, I'll quite often get Americans come and say, "What's that called?" And it's like pork scratchings. I go, "What's that then?" So okay, I'll remember that. Chicharrones, right? Chicharrones. Let me say it right. Number one, chicharrones. Number two, chicharrones. Which is the nearest one? Number one or number two? Neutral frog. Um, Harry Fields on YouTube says crunchy and soft is the best, isn't it? Isn't it always? Nothing like a good old pork, pork, pork scratchings. The reason my pronunciation is quite good, I think, Neutral Frog, is because Joel Hablo and Poco de Espanol. Chicharrones, right? Okay, chicharrones. All right, thank you. As I say, Joel Hablo and Poco de Espanol. But that's mainly because I've ocasión en español. Voy de español quite often. Oh shit, my Spanish is bad. But I tend to, well, with the COVID pandemic happening, I haven't done it lately, but I holiday a lot in Spain, and when you holiday a lot in Spain, you do pick up the language. You've got no choice because not everywhere in Spain speaks English. I had to laugh. Today. I had to laugh. A friend of mine is going to Spain next week for his holidays, and he was talking to me on Facebook, and he said that his wife has been. Funny enough, I've got another friend whose wife has been reading TripAdvisor reviews. So TripAdvisor reviews. And I think the people who write TripAdvisor reviews are completely insane. But I read one today which I thought was absolutely crazy. Right, there's a guy that's been on holiday in Spain, right, and he's complained about the food. Right, he said the food was awful. I'm not doing that again. I thought, okay, you can get hotels where sometimes the food isn't wonderful. But then when I looked closer, I realised that he'd gone on a self-catering holiday. I thought, what the fuck? How can you complain the food was all you cooked it, you dickhead? But yeah, people who leave reviews are completely lunatic. Um, Harry Fields has asked me what my opinion on the death penalty is. Very contentious issue, very polarising issue, that one, Harry Fields. Very contentious and very polarising. Right, I support the death penalty. I believe that if you deliberately take somebody's life, you deserve to forfeit yours. However, there was a case, and I'm not going to Google, there was a case last week in America where a guy has just been executed and he's been on death row since 1986. So what's that? Damn near 40 years, 36 years from the time that he was convicted until they actually killed him. Was it in Ohio? It's 36 years. Now, to me, as much as I support the death penalty, for me, that is a cruel and unusual punishment. Can you imagine, right, having to face being 36 years every day for 36 years, wondering if the day's the day you're going to die? Just he's been in prison. That is a lifetime. 36 years, right, is a lifetime. And I figure that if you've been in prison for 36 years, all right, having to face on death row for 36 years, then I think killing you after that amount of time is just totally. There's no punishment. There's no punishment factor there, is there? That is just pure and utter revenge, isn't it? There's no punishment there. 36 years is, yeah, exactly, Harry. 36 years is punishment in itself. I think there should be a limit, right? I think there should be a limit. 5 years would be a good limit. Okay, 5 years would be a good limit. Death row, 5 years. If you can't get killed in 5 years, then it should be commuted to a life sentence. And it was in the news this week, and I thought that was just a ridiculous thing. And it is a lifetime. I mean, let's take somebody famous, Heath Ledger. Heath Ledger did not live 36 years. We all know who Heath Ledger is, a Batman. Joker and Batman. Um, he didn't live 30, 28 or 29 when he died. So, that is a lifetime. And hello, Creamiest Puss. Creamiest Puss has just given me an award. Now, I've got a special thing. When somebody gives me an award, I've got a special thing. So we'll just run that. Why isn't that running? There it goes. There it goes. So there we go. Thank you. Oh, that's not airtime. No, that's stupid. There we go. Right. There we go, Creamiest Puss. That's for you. You can't see that on YouTube because I haven't set it up on YouTube. But they can see it on Reddit. Because there's no point because you can't award me anything on YouTube. So yeah, Neutral Frog on Reddit says that the death penalty is a big business. Um, I don't know whether I can't really comment on the American justice and the American prison system because it's something that I've never been involved with. I've never been involved in the UK prison system, so I don't know that either. But I do think that they, like I said, it was too long. 36 years on death row and then being killed by lethal injection. And if I read correctly, did he take 30 minutes to die? Was the problem they couldn't even find a vein to inject the guy? So not only have they got him strapped down, they fucked about for 30 minutes to try and kill him. That's the European Court of Human Rights that stopped these Rwandans, people from going to Rwanda, would have fits about that. Um, but I do believe in the death penalty. I do believe that if you deliberately, bear in mind I've said deliberately, now in America, you call it murder 1, 2, and 3. In this country, we just have two two no, we have three we have murder 1, 2, and 3, but they're not called. We have murder 1, which is premeditated, where you've deliberately set out and planned to kill somebody. That's murder. Manslaughter is where you've killed somebody, but it wasn't premeditated, and you didn't plan to do it. It just happened. That's manslaughter. And then we have accidental murder, which is, of course, where you murder somebody accidentally. But the two big ones in the UK are murder and manslaughter. So we don't have like murder 1, 2, and 3, but murder where you go out and deliberately plot to kill somebody, or you hire a hitman to kill somebody, where you've actually made a physical gone out to kill somebody is, I believe you should have the death penalty. Technically, if you're let's talk about rape for a moment. If you're raping somebody and during the course of that rape you kill them, that's technically manslaughter. That's not murder. But I do believe that you should have a death penalty in those situations. Like you should have the death penalty for the murder of a police officer, which is something very personal to me because my father was a Metropolitan Police officer and he was killed in 1971. He was killed in the line of duty as a police officer, which left me to grow up as an orphan. And his killer got scot free. He was never caught, never found. In fact, it was never investigated because he didn't realise what had happened for several years after he died. But he was killed in the line of duty as a police officer. Neutral Frog, self-defence comes in as manslaughter because it's not premeditated. You haven't actually. If you kill somebody in self-defence, you haven't actually planned to do it. That's what I'm saying. Death penalty for planned murders is something that is planned. You've actually gone out and you've actually threatened somebody. I'm going to kill you, and then you go out and kill them, or you hire a hitman to kill them, or you set out to deliberately kill them. That is murder. Manslaughter is where you kill somebody, but it's not premeditated, and that will be, I believe, self-defence. But again, I'm not a lawyer, and I'm not going to Google it, and I could be talking complete shit. All right, so the one thing I do know about the internet is if you're talking shit, there's always somebody very quick to tell you you're talking shit, and the internet is very quick to tell me I'm talking shit normally. Neutral Frog, I'm over it. 1971, it was a long time ago. I'm over it now. Same for you, Tyson. I appreciate your your sorrows, but I'm over it now. But I was 12 when he died. It was a bit of a bit of a blow, but there you go. Um, that's life. He was 42. I'm 20 years older now than my father was when he was killed. And do you know what the annoying thing is? My eldest son, I've got a son who's 43. My eldest son is the spitting image of my father. Every time I look at my son, I see my father there. Yet my son doesn't quite understand how I can say that because my son never knew my father. My son was born long after he died. But my son is, every time I look at my son, I swear to God, I'm looking at my father and I have to physically stop myself from calling him dad. Yeah, I know. I know that's really strange. That's really strange. So Harry, that's my view on the death penalty in this country. I think the last woman to be killed was Ruth Ellis, wasn't she? Ruth Ellis was the last woman to be killed, and the last man to be hanged wasn't it Hanratty? And Hanratty in 1964, I think, was the last man to be hanged in this country. Last death penalty. And as it's turned out, DNA evidence a couple of years back. Excuse me. DNA evidence that's come to light in the last few years has turned out that Hanratty was actually innocent. Um, that's the other side of the death penalty. I can't really argue for the death penalty because you can't really prove a negative. What I mean by that is you can't prove the deterrent effect of the death penalty. You can't say, well, if we had the death penalty, there would only be half the murders that there are now, because you can't prove a negative. You can only prove positives. You can't prove something hasn't happened. You can only prove what has happened. But I do believe that it would have a deterrent effect. But I can't prove that. That's just purely anecdotal from my point of view. But I do believe in it, yeah. I do believe if you deliberately set out to take a life, you should forfeit your own. So, Harry, I hope that's answered your I hope that's answered your question, Harry. Harry on YouTube has just said O.J. Simpson could have been executed if he'd been found guilty during his 1994 trial. Yes, he could have done, and he did set out. That is a perfect example of premeditated murder. At the time, did I think he was innocent? No, I didn't. I thought he was as guilty as hell, but he got away with it. So a jury of his peers decided that he wasn't guilty. So that's probably why I'm not a judge. Oh, yeah, yeah. I thought he was guilty. I remember watching it all. I thought he was guilty. That's my bit on. Right. Okay. Like I said, for those that don't know, I'm I have I have follicular lymphoma, which is an incurable blood cancer, and I have good weeks and I have bad weeks, and this week has not been the best of weeks for me. I've really been feeling quite ill, and so much so that I went swimming, go swimming every Friday, local swimming pool. Um, I went swimming at local swimming pool, and I had to give up after half an hour. I uh, I really felt rough, and I've not felt good all day, and I've had chronic leg cramps all day, and I've just taken some ibuprofen about half an hour ago, and it's finally started to work. Either that or the beer, but I'm still feeling like shit. And when I stream, I actually streaming gives me a bit of an adrenaline rush that I don't normally have. It perks me up for a little while, but only for a little while. I'm starting to come down. I'm starting to feel a bit shit. So I've got some medication I've got to take. So I'm going to take that and I'm going to fuck off to bed. So I'm going to give it another 5 minutes. What are we now? We are now coming up for 11 o'clock. So I'm going to give it till 11:05. I normally stream for a good 3 hours on Friday night. So I'm not going to be able to keep it up. We're just coming up for 11 o'clock. So let's have a couple of 5 minutes. Neutral flog. That's the thing about cancer, especially in incurable cancer. You have good weeks and you have bad weeks. I have more good weeks than I have bad weeks, but this week has just not been the best of weeks. And I've been a bit. I'll be all right next week. I think I just got to pick up. I just got to pick up, and I probably get a good night's. I've not didn't have a good night's sleep last night. I'll probably have a good night's sleep tonight, and I'll probably feel a lot better tomorrow. But I just feel a bit, I just feel a bit shit, if I'm honest. And I don't want to push my luck. And I enjoy streaming on Sunday. Sunday at around about 7 p.m. UK time, which is BST, British Summer Time, which is GMT +1. 7 p.m. I stream live from my local pub. It's the only time I go out and stream live from my local pub, and I enjoy that. But in saying that, last weekend I stopped streaming after 45 minutes because I was getting no reaction from anybody. I only do that on Reddit. I don't do it on YouTube or Twitch because I'm on my mobile and I can't stream on my mobile. I can't stream to 3 different platforms at the same time. Whereas I'm on my desktop, I can stream to as many platforms as I want at the same time. But on my mobile, I can only do it on one platform. So I stream on Reddit, but I gave up after 45 minutes last week because I was getting nothing from Reddit at all. No feedback like I've had tonight. You know, at first with Reddit, it was a bit of a struggle, but now you guys are talking. It's made it more worthwhile. I sort of feel guilty about leaving, but I haven't got a lot of choice. You can probably hear my throat's starting to go as well. So it's one of the things. One of the things you have with cancer. It's you know, you have to accept you have good days and you have bad days, and today is one of those bad days. So it's not the best of days. So come on, right? It's 1 minute past 11. Let's have 4 minutes. What do you guys want to ask me anything for 4 minutes? All right. Let's have a quick AMA. Let's ask me anything. Come on. Oh, I'll ask you. How many of you are vegans? Have we got any vegans here? Any vegetarians? Thank you for following me, Neutral Frog. I've just got the notification. Have we got any vegetarians here? I'm not anti-vegetarians. I'm not. I've got a question for a vegetarian. It's a genuine question, actually. I've got a very genuine question. Are any of you vegetarians? Simple question. Show us your ink. I can barely see them. Right. Okay. I'll show you my ink. Right. Okay. This one here is my nickname. Woody Woodpecker is my nickname. I've been known as Woody throughout my entire life. That one there is a piston. It's one of these 3D tattoos. I've got a bit of a tan on that arm. If you look, it's a piston. You're meant to be looking at the skin ripped away from my arm, and you're looking inside my arm at a piston. I'll tell you the story of that tattoo in a second. Right, Crucials. I'm not trying to pick holes in vegetarians. This is something that came up in conversation today. Myself and my partner, we are total carnivores. But when we have visitors, as we have had occasionally, and we have vegetarians among them, we cater for the vegetarian. Right? We make sure that there is a vegetarian option, especially if we have barbecues. I've got a big garden. None of my kids have got gardens, but I've got a big garden. And we used to have big barbecues. Well, there'll be 25 to 30 of us in my garden having a big barbecue. And when you've got a group that big, at least 1 or 2 of them is a vegetarian. So we'd always make sure there's a vegetarian option. Well, I've got a friend whose wife is vegetarian, and we've been invited out. But my friend just said to me, he said, "Oh, when you come, you'll have to eat vegetarian food." I said, "What?" He said, "No, she won't cook meat." I said, "Okay, she won't have any meat in the house, and she won't have anything to do with meat." I said, "Well, how does that work then? Because as a carnivore, I'm expected to cater for vegetarians, and I do, and I don't mind. I respect other people do as well. You cater to that's the whole point in guests. You cater to their culinary taste." But she won't have anything. She said, he said no. He said it's against her belief. She won't have anything meat in the house at all. She won't. She'll cook you sausages on the barbecue, but there'll be those mushroom protein corn crap. So I'm not anti-vegetarian. I just don't understand why. I've declined the invite, by the way. Um, I've declined the invite because I don't see why I should have vegetarianism forced on me. If it's she knows I'm a carnivore, but she says I'm not going to cook. They said no, she won't have meat in the house. So that's that. So very strange. I just wondered if anybody else shared that view. Is it one of these things where we've got to cater for vegetarians, but vegetarians don't have to cater for us? And I'm not anti-vegetarian at all, not at all. Um, right, the story of this tattoo. Right, the story of this tattoo. I'll tell you about it because it's gone the time. It's gone the time. So I'll tell you about it. My last thing. Right. Back in 20, right, I was diagnosed with cancer in 2013. In early 2014, I had radiotherapy on this side of my neck to reduce because I had a big tumour sticking out the side of my neck. So I had radiotherapy to reduce that tumour. And then from 2014 up until 2017, even though I had cancer, it really didn't bother me. And then I was on holiday in Spain, in the island of Mallorca, actually, a place called Calais and Tenerife. We were on holiday in Spain, and 2 days after I got there, I started to feel really, really ill. Very, very ill indeed. In fact, so ill that we actually had a 14-day holiday, and I came back off. We paid for a flight and came back after 4 days. I really felt bad. When I contacted the oncology department, the hematology department of the hospital, we ran a couple of blood tests, and they said your cancer. We need to put you on chemotherapy right now. So that was 2017, and that was my first time doing chemotherapy. I'm on treatment at the moment. I'm now on my third lot. I'm an old hand at chemotherapy now, but that was my first lot of chemotherapy. And I don't know whether you know, but chemotherapy actually lasts around 2 years. It starts off with 6 months, or it starts off with 6 weeks of very intensive chemotherapy where you're getting the drug. You're getting the two drugs you need once a week, massive infusions of them once a week for 6 weeks. And then it's once a month for 6 months. And then when that's done, you have something called maintenance, where you're injected with one of the drugs in your stomach, not by infusion, for another 18 months. So the actual chemotherapy process lasts two and a bit years, about 2 years, 4 months before they stop chemotherapy. Now, if you can see underneath this tattoo, I don't know if you can see it, I don't know if my camera can pick it up. Sorry, it's a bit awkward, but just there, yeah, just there it is. Turn that so you can see. Just there, you can see a bit of a red patch. That red patch is another tattoo that's under here. This tattoo is covering it up. That red patch, turn it, it's actually hurting me to turn my arm that distance. That red patch is a love heart, and it actually says Steve above it, then the heart, and then Sue underneath it. That's the name of my first wife. I had that tattooed on my arm when I was 18. We got divorced. That was 1979. 1979. I was 19 when I had that tattoo done. We got divorced in 1993 or 1994. I forget now. But I've worn a name on my arm ever since, and just be, there's been a couple of times in the past where people have looked at me who haven't known me and my current partner, and they've called her Sue because they've seen Sue on my arm, so they've assumed that her name is Sue. It's not, obviously. And it never bothered me, but she did mention it one time. She said, I don't like it when people do that. So what I said, well, when I've got over this chemotherapy, and I've come out the other side of it, what I'm going to do is to celebrate it, I'm going to have a tattoo done. And I said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the tattoo to cover that tattoo on my arm, which will solve that problem. Um, so she said, yeah. She said, what tattoo are you going to have done? And I said, well, I'm going to have one of those biomechanical tattoos done. And I said, I drew it up, and I said, I want a piston in my arm, so that people looking at it looks like you're looking inside and I'm mechanical. And she said to me, she said, oh, what are you going to do that? And I said, well, here's the thing about cancer. Cancer only eats flesh and blood. Inside, if I'm mechanical, it can't eat me. That's why I had the tattoo done. That's why that tattoo. Because it's my way of saying inside I'm mechanical, so cancer won't get me. And that makes sense to me. It makes perfect sense to me. But then I didn't get my tattoo done for anybody else but me. So I hope that answers that question. Nice tattoos, are they new? No, that I had done in 2000, so that's 22 years old. And that one I had done in 2019 when I finished chemotherapy. So that's that. So no, they're not new tattoos. But that's my tattoo. I do have other tattoos. I've got a tattoo there, and I've got a tattoo there, and I've got another tattoo which I'm never going to show. The only way you'll know about my other tattoo is if I'm having sex with you. All right, that's the only way you'll ever know. So only the people that I've had sex with know about my other tattoo, because it's in a rather intimate place. Quite a big tattoo as well. Uh, so those are the only people that ever see it, and I'm not one of these people that I like showing off those things. But I've got to. I'll show you. Look, there you go. There you go. Two more tattoos. I'll put that away before I get arrested for obscenity. So yeah, I've got two other tattoos, but I've got another one. Yeah, it's a very rude tattoo down there. That's another story. That is another story. Right. So this tattoo above my heart, I'm going to get covered. I actually meant to go and see the tattooist today about that, but I never. I just ran out of time because I was feeling not too good. Right. It's gone 11:10 here now, and I'm throat is getting dry. I've got a headache. Sorry, creamish puss. I do see what you say. You eat mostly Indian food, the best vegetarian cuisine, but I never make others vegetarian. That's the feedback that I've got for. That's the feedback I'm getting from a lot of people, and it's just this woman being particularly fussy. Um, just being particularly fussy and trying to force her vegetarianism on me. They've got a dog, and she makes the dog eat vegetarian. I mean, how does that work? How can you make a dog eat vegetarian? I mean, dogs don't have a choice. They're carnivore by nature. It's I don't know. I don't understand it. But like I say, I'm not anti-vegetarian, so I hope I don't come across like that. Right, guys. Like I said, it's been that sort of day. If you know my YouTube, you'll be able to see what I get up to tomorrow because I'm going to something called Chislehurst Rocks, which is a rock concert done within my local village. It's a big event. It's a big event every year, and where I am, I live in a village, and village life is very much part of uh, part of me and part of my village. And this is a very big event. It happens every year, but COVID put it off, and this is the first one back from COVID, so it should be a big event. And I will be there with my two specialist cameras. I've got a 3D camera, yeah, a proper 3D camera that films in 3D. And I've got a 360 camera which films in virtual reality 360 degrees. 360 and 3D are two different things. Um, and I'll be there with my very specialist cameras actually filming the event. And I will put it up on my YouTube, so you'll be able to see it on my YouTube. So, for those that don't know, this is my YouTube channel. Just type that into your browser, and it will take you to my YouTube channel, and you can see some of the things I make. At the moment, I'm on a mission to show how badly disabled people are treated because my cancer has put me in a wheelchair. So I am severely disabled. Anyway, guys, look, it's been nice chatting to you, but I'm going to have to go, and I'm sorry about that because I'm really not feeling too good, and it really is catching up with me. So I will say goodbye to you. So I'll see you guys on Sunday night for the pub stream on Reddit. If not, I'll be back here on Monday nights on YouTube and Twitch. So see you guys.